Tough job this for Javier Jauregui, the 32-year-old from Guadalajara, Mexico. He's got the red waistband. Guzman on the attack again. But he does have to be more active in his career. This is a real showcase for him. He's just signed for Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy promotions outfit and says that's a bit of a dream come true. But if it was, he might have done them the service of coming in at the right weight.
Yeah, and he's moved up in division, so in a much more attractive division. Some big fights for him now if he just gets his mind on the job. I mean, he's 30 years of age, so doesn't have time to waste. I mean, a definite talent. You can see the confidence in his work, the sharpness in the punches.
Flashy and brash. Guzman back to the ropes. Jauregui trying to get his pressure fighting going. He gets him with a good overhand right hand. He's not the kind who's going to go away here tonight. He's going to make Guzman work for this.
And I think Jauregui's going to stay as close as he can. I think he feels the danger at arm's length in Guzman's punches. So I think part of this attack is spoiling, not allowing Guzman to work while he cuffs away with his shots. So it just has a look of a guy who feels much closer, much safer when he's close up.
Good tactics, laying on Guzman's chest, denying him the leverage for those flashy hooks on the outside.
Watch your heads, watch your heads.
Guzman has to find himself some room. He has to get off these ropes, maybe start using the jab as Jauregui comes forward, but he's allowing him to get far too close. And this could become a little bit untidy.
He's also quite free with the head, Jauregui, as he comes in. He almost leads with it at times. So they'll have to watch for cuts in that Guzman corner. Intriguing matchup, though, this. And I must say, it is good to see Guzman back in the ring. He's only fought once in the last year, and that was at featherweight. And I repeat, he's weighing 10 stone 8 tonight. That basically is a welterweight.
Well, I haven't really seen as much quality from Guzman in this round. More success for Jauregui. I mean, his work doesn't really impress you so much. It's kind of scuffling, but he's kept it going. Certainly kept this round a fair bit closer.
Just a bit less from Guzman in this round, and Jauregui just chugging forward all the time, just getting reminders as he does so sometimes. There's a bit of dynamite in Guzman's fist sometimes.
Yeah, but I think Jauregui's tactics are right. He's not allowing him to work.
Reminder of the main event tonight. Oscar De La Hoya back after 20 months and with the dangerous Ricardo Mayorga. It's an intriguing fight on what is a juicy bill here, including this fight in the ring at the moment. There's Joan Guzman, who's ranked number 3 by the WBO at super featherweight. Whether he could actually ever make that for a championship fight remains to be seen. You remember it? Sorry, Jim, I was just going to say, just a reminder, he's giving away £9, the Mexican, in there tonight.
Yeah, and he's the one who's been boxing at lightweight for part of his career. But this is the range that Guzman needs. But having said that, the jabs are coming from Jauregui. He's room to work now, so he has to start putting punches together. Just doesn't look as sharp as you would expect him to be.
Jauregui won the IBF lightweight title against the ill-fated Levander Johnson and lost it in his first defense against Julio Diaz. A majority decision, that, so it was a brief reign, but he was a world champion.
But you can see with his style, he's going to be in a lot of close fights throughout his career because he's busy, he keeps coming forward. These are good shots now. Guzman beginning to find his timing now, find his range.
Good left hook to the body, though, from Jauregui, but just tripling up on the jab. He does ooze talent, Guzman.
Well, he has room to work now, and he's beginning to look the part, Guzman. I'm surprised at Jauregui altered his tactics. He's actually opted to box at long range here. It's not working.
Watch the head. Yeah, he has been a bit free with the head. Jauregui on the way in. Kenny Bayless is on the case. Guzman's looked good in this round. Digs in a right to the body and another one, then a left hook to the head and another right to the body. Punishing shots.
Yeah, and Guzman stepped back there as though he was expecting more of a reaction from Jauregui. He took those punches well.
Jauregui was blasted away by Acelino Freitas in 85 seconds in his first ever world title shot. That was the most damaging defeat of his career. He came back from that. And I think even if he's beaten tonight, it won't be the end of his career. He'll carry on, just keep getting in the ring, keep working away. He's been a good value for money operator down the years.
I think he's lost his plan here. He's coming forward but stopping as he gets into range, not throwing anything, and he's been picked off. Can't understand why he's altered his tactics. I thought he'd been trying to get right on top of Guzman. It worked in the second round.
Very, very good round for Guzman, who looked the part there. There's Ricardo Mayorga, who's hit new lows in tasteless insults in the build-up to this fight. Maybe all calculated. He is a bit of a wild, crazy man, but he does sell tickets, which is one of the reasons maybe why De La Hoya picked him as the opponent, plus the fact, obviously, Oscar feels he can do a number on him. We'll see. That's coming up. Fourth round of this. Guzman in control of it here, the former WBO super bantamweight champion, the man who was supposed to fight Scott Harrison. And looking at this, it might have been a tough old job for Scott Harrison as well.
Yep, that was a bit of a disappointment. I was looking forward to him coming over. These are good punches. His work's beginning to flow now. He's ducking a little bit low.
He's taunting Jauregui as well. Just opening his mouth in the way that Muhammad Ali used to do at press conferences all those years ago, almost taunting his opponent. Yeah, there's Jauregui's answer. And he shot a glance at the referee there, Guzman, after that.
Yeah, I think it's because Jauregui followed in with his head after the punch, but shouldn't be looking for help from the referee. He landed a good shot, but I think his head followed in behind it.
I don't think Jauregui's too impressed by being taunted after everything he's done in boxing. And that was his answer. I think that the bit of head work was a little reminder that he's still around in there.
Yeah, well, he's been in a rough school. He's been pro since he was 14. Took his bumps all the way through a long career. So anything that Guzman comes up with, he'll have seen it before, and he's not too bored and still trying to come forward.
And he's doing his best to try to rough up Guzman on the inside, but he can't get to the inside at the moment. And he's going through his full repertoire. Guzman, he does have fast hands, a languid style, lovely fluidity about his work, sharp puncher as well. But you do have to wonder why he hasn't been in the ring more often than he has. Clever.
Nice little burst of punches from Guzman there. Just short, jolting arm punches, but he's heavy-handed.
Of his 24 wins against no defeats, 17 have come inside schedule for Guzman. Good knockout ratio.
Well, hasn't discouraged Jauregui as yet. Jauregui's still happy to keep coming forward. He's taken some solid shots, but not visibly shaken yet.
Just being outclassed at the moment, Jauregui. And that will be the pattern all the time it's on the outside like this, because Joan Guzman can just do his thing. He's taking the eye here as well. Looks a star. Another round into the bank for Joan Guzman. Welcome back. By the way, news that Ricky Hatton landed in Boston for his fight next week. Sky Box Office is the place to see that. And within 4 hours, he was at the races in Boston, making a guest appearance, and they named a race after him. Ricky the Hitman Hatton Stakes it was, and he backed the winner too. So a good start in America for Ricky. Back to the action here, round 5. Javier Jauregui with the red waistband and the very impressive Joan Guzman. He just had to take one back there from Jauregui, but he wants to finish this here, I think, Jim.
Certainly raised the pace. I think he'd be better just dropping the pace and picking the clean shots. Although, having said that, he hasn't troubled Jauregui yet with his power. Complaining with the head again, I think that's fair comment. I mean, sometimes we don't like to see fighters moaning to referees, but I think Guzman has a fair case here.
I think Jauregui just thinks he's got to do something, and there he is again. He's trying to rub his head into Guzman's. Referee, though, is watching, and he knows. Well, here's the thought, Jim. Coming up, Marco Antonio Barrera fights Rocky Juarez at this weight in a few weeks' time. Some fight, wouldn't it be, if Guzman could get down to 9 stone 4 and make the effort, him against Barrera or Juarez.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if he pays attention, he can get down to super featherweight without a great problem. I just think he lacks discipline. I think his whole camp lacked discipline. But as I say, some big fights in this division for him.
Jauregui's still there. He got in with an overhand right of his own. Guzman's talking to him now.
I think he's trying to insult him. I think he's trying to embarrass him, force him into making some mistakes. But his punches are landing, but Jauregui's still coming through them.
I think the taunting wouldn't be to everybody's tastes.
No, well, Jauregui is a good little pro who deserves respect. It's nice to see when he gets it. Yeah, but he's going back to his earlier tactic, staying close, putting his chin over the shoulder.
It's got to the point where Kenny Bayless will have to think about making a point deduction for that. He's had about 3 separate warnings.
So he's leaving. He left his head in again that time. I mean, he's actually quite clever with it. He's not actually moving his head forward. He's leaving it in as Guzman comes forward. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Really classy, fast left hand from Guzman again. And the way he just sways out of the way of punches as well and makes Jauregui miss. He does look like a top draw operator when you watch him here. Okay, it might be a slightly faded version of Jauregui now. Good to watch.
Yep. Always glad to see Guzman. I mean, he is a quality fighter, genuine world class.
I need you to start finish that combination left hook. This kid's bending down. It's fine. Lift him up. Boom. Left hook off the top. Okay. Boom, boom. Back on the jab. Everything back in the first position. Give me a smile for a bit.
He's trained by Don House, who is also with Zahir Rahim, who you've recently seen on Sky with Acelino Freitas. And he was with William Abelyan as well, wasn't he, Don House, when he came over to fight Scott Harrison. Scott Harrison was good that night.
Looking a little bit dejected, entitled debut too, but no signs he's thinking about giving up. Still pressing forward, still trying to get himself into this.
Well, he was fighting 10-rounders when he was 16, this fella. He won the Mexican featherweight championship, and that takes some winning, and made 7 defenses of it as well before he was beaten. And I bet they were cracking fights as well when he was a younger man. Another sharp, fast punch on the move from Guzman.
Jauregui's throwing long punches at the start of this round. That is dangerous. Guzman very sharp with the counters.
Totally in control at the moment, Guzman. He's almost playing with Jauregui at times. That's not a knockdown. And there's a little bit of blood just to the side of the right eye now of the 32-year-old Mexican. Nothing much. That was something. A bit more, though. That burst of machine gun-like punching from Joan Guzman. Guzman's always complaining that fighters avoid him in his career.
Well, that's a point. I think it's Super Bantamweight. He tried to unify, at least he spoke as though he was trying to unify the titles. We thought matches were being made. They weren't made. He claims it was the other guy's fault. Could be true. I mean, he's not someone you would go looking for.
Top drawer operator, though.
Jauregui just beginning to lose the spark. He was lively in the early rounds coming forward, being effective when he got close, but the little spark seems to be dulling.
He's slowed down. He's got very ragged as well, Jauregui, and I just wonder how long before Guzman can put an end to the argument completely here now.
Guzman at the moment seems more interesting in putting a little exhibition on as opposed to getting down to business and trying to get him out of there.
Quite happy to lay on the ropes and look for counters, it seems, Guzman. But those legs of Jauregui are getting a bit leaden, aren't they?
Yeah, well, he's tried to set a fair old pace all the way through, throwing lots of punches, but always on the receiving end. Guzman again having the last word in the exchange. That's been the story all the way through.
Well, he tried to exert pressure there, Javier Jauregui, in the latest stages of that round, but to be honest with you, he didn't ruffle Guzman's feathers one bit. It's Jose Reynoso doing the talking with Jauregui, who looks a bit dispirited, doesn't he?
Yeah, obviously I don't know what they're saying, but it seems more like they're trying to encourage him. It's not tactics they're using in here, they're just trying to encourage him. He looks very dejected. Things are going against him. He's put up a show, but if your heart's not in it, then this may not last too much longer.
Walk him, champ. Walk him.
I think Guzman's corner want to see him get this job finished. They feel it can be done.
You do wonder about him, don't you, though, this guy, Guzman? Why isn't he in the ring more often? Now, you look at the last few years, he's only fought twice a year on average.
That's strange. I mean, when he wins the title, you don't see him for the best part of a year. It is strange. I don't know. And at 30, well, obviously doesn't have too much time to waste. Although he looks fresh enough.
Well, he ought to be fresh, didn't he? 24 fights in 9 years. And remember, he does have this huge weight advantage on the night as well. I'm glad that Jauregui got a bit of extra money. Look at this. I'm not sure there was too much in any of those punches. A lot of them are just for show. That was a good left hand Jauregui nailed Guzman with over on that far side.
Yeah, he seems intent just putting on a little exhibition. As though he's not too much bothered about trying to get this job finished. I mean, Jauregui's looking frustrated, looking tired. You would think it'd be the perfect time for Guzman to put the pedal to the floor.
Guzman was promoted for a time by Frank Warren, the British promoter. Just hit the gloves with the siding right hand that time, Guzman.
Jauregui's defence not as tight as it was either. Obviously, everything slowing down that bit. Guzman making a miss with these wild swings. There's the head on the chest again. I would have thought the referee is close enough. See again the quality moves from Guzman.
Lovely right crosses in there a couple of times, mixed in with a left hook as well. And another one.
Yeah, both of those two right hands shook Jauregui up a little bit. I think he's beginning to tire now. The punch resistance may not quite be what it was earlier.
Just wonder though whether Guzman's power is going to travel up the weights with him, don't you?
Well, he certainly caught Jauregui cleanly, and this is a man who has been stopped a couple of times in the past. So the punches certainly look solid, but I still think we have to give Jauregui some credit. He is a tough little customer. Had a real long, hard career.
And again, he pokes a face at him, tries to taunt him.
Not an impressive round from Guzman here. Again, the better quality punches, getting the last word in most of the exchanges. A little stumble in the legs, and I think he maybe just went over on his ankle. But not the most impressive round from him I've seen.
Yeah, just a hint of laziness at times about Guzman, as if he's coasting, and Jauregui trying to plod on through the fight, but in truth it's pretty one-sided stuff. He's heavily outclassed, isn't he?
Yeah, well, you're getting the feeling that Guzman is doing what he likes when he likes. You just feel he should maybe be raising the pace. You start to feel a little bit sorry for Jauregui. He couldn't try any harder, couldn't put any more into this. But he's still got that dejected look. He knows he's put everything into this, can't get himself into the fight. But Guzman at times looks half at it. And I wonder how long this will be before he decides to raise the pace.
He was trained for his last fight by Roger Mayweather, who's recently been suspended for a year after that brawl in the ring at the end of the Floyd Mayweather-Zab Judah fight last month. So obviously he couldn't be in the corner for this. Guzman with the skirt effect type trunks. This time he does just touch the gloves almost by way of respect from Jauregui, who he has been just taunting a bit. Jauregui, the Mexican, does get in with a couple at the start of the round, but he hasn't won a round for a long time in this fight. In fact, I've only given him one, the second. What about you, Jim?
Yep, same here. I give him the second, nothing else. A couple of the rounds he's kept closer because Guzman was lazy, but he's not lazy at the moment.
Amazing combination there, wasn't it, of about 9 left hooks in succession.
I'd like to see the best of Guzman, because this is not the best we're seeing of him. Kind of sag there from Jauregui, maybe really a steady flow of punches getting to him now.
An almost Leonard-like blitz of punches in bunches there from Guzman. The guy got now with that left hook there. Twice it just leers and smiles through his gum shield as those landed. But Guzman got lazy and careless there. And against a fighter who might have a little bit more life left than Jauregui at this stage of his career, he might be paying for mistakes like that.
Still get the impression, I mean, some impressive stuff coming from Guzman, but still get the impression he could do better. These were kind of cuffing punches we saw there. Yeah, the kind of fancy dance stuff, I don't think this is what the fans paid to see, not what they expected.
He is good though, isn't he? Loads and loads of quality. Talent to burn.
Yeah, I think he's just, he wants to show the crowd that he can play with this fellow. Keeping in mind how Jauregui boxed in a world title eliminator last year. So, I mean, it's not as though he's been out of the picture for years. Still looked upon, he's still world rated. So, I mean, it's a good performance. And Guzman can do exactly as he pleases against a man like this.
Yeah, Jauregui's been in with Acelino Freitas, who we mentioned, with Jesus Chavez as well, Agapito Sanchez, another ill-fated fighter who was shot in a bar a few months ago. Levander Johnson, who died after a championship fight more recently, and Julio Diaz, and that was a majority decision. So he's been in with good names, and he's in with another good one here, and he's losing too to Guzman.
It's beginning to look as though Guzman's quite happy to let this go the full 10. I mean, they're jolting little punches he's throwing. They're not really, they don't have mean intentions, as though he's looking for a stoppage.
Is that a behind the back pass?
But let me ask you a question. Scott Harrison against Joan Guzman, had that fight happened at featherweight, and obviously it's due to happen in 2 weeks' time. It's not going to happen, it's off. But Scott Harrison got away with not having to fight him, because he does look a bit good, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I have to be honest, it was a fight that I was looking forward to. Scott Harrison, unfortunately, no fault of his own, he hasn't had the fights that'll maybe just raise his profile, and I think a victory over Guzman, if he could have managed it, would have done that. Unfortunately, it's not to be, but I think we would have seen a different Joan Guzman that night, much more business-like. Scott Harrison would not have allowed him to pussyfoot about the way he's done tonight.
Yes, he'd have provided a far sterner challenge than Jauregui is providing here, it should be said. Good crowd here again at the MGM Grand Garden, as it's called here. In this massive, huge blue hotel which dominates the skyline along the Las Vegas Strip. I think they've got Madonna on here soon. Mile behind on points now, Jauregui, and Guzman looks as if he's just quite content to go through his party pieces here and, well, not coast exactly to victory, but quite happy to get the 10 rounds under his belt. But I don't know, is he going to be a puncher up at super featherweight and beyond, remembering he's weighing 10 stone 8 pounds on the night here?
I just don't think he's gone about the job in a lot of these rounds as though he's looking for the stoppage. He's not stepping right in with the punches. He started quickly in the opening round as though he thought an early night could have been on the cards, but he's settled down since then, boxed well, some lovely moves, puts punches together well. But he's given Jauregui far too much leeway, and because of that, Jauregui is still in there.
It's a good, brave effort from the Mexican. I think he knows here that it's an extremely uphill task, and must know he's a mile behind and is getting peppered all the time with these shots, but still he plows forward in hope, not in expectation, I suspect.
Well, Guzman turned his hip and his shoulder with a right hand punch there, but for most of the time it's just been jolting little shots using his arms.
Kenny Bayless almost denying the chance for Jauregui to work on the inside there. Now Guzman's got away, and once he can get away and find a bit of space, he really can put some impressive punches together.
Well, Guzman can't complain because Jauregui has fought his kind of fight from before the halfway stage, so he's had plenty of opportunities to get the clean punches home. But Jauregui still in there making a pest of himself.
A few seconds to go in the 9th round. This is a 10-rounder, non-title fight, but it should be a passport, you'd think, for Guzman to get some major opportunity now that he has signed with Golden Boy Promotions, who are a major new force on the American scene. Well, there's Ricardo Mayorga chatting away and looking relaxed there. In the past, he's eaten pizza at weigh-ins and the like. Nice. This is one of the many confrontations they had in the build-up to this fight.
Last and final round. Touch gloves when you come out.
I think it has become personal, you could say.
Yeah, some of the things he said, really bad taste. So, I mean, here we go again. You don't have to know what he's saying there, you get a fair idea.
Yeah, I mean, he's been saying things like he wants to sleep with De La Hoya's wife to show her what a real man is, and he's crossed the border. I don't think he's going to get a contract out of Golden Boy himself anytime soon when this is finished.
Okay, here we go.
Oscar's been saying, keep on talking, you're fueling my fire. Last round of this, Joan Guzman in easy control of this, as Jim's scorecard indicates.
Yep, well in front, 89-82. I mean, Jauregui did keep a couple of those rounds close because of the laziness of Guzman, but the quality has always come from Guzman.
Work out.
Guzman's going to keep his unbeaten record here, barring something extremely dramatic and unforeseen.
Work out.
Good right hand as well. But he does have to get on with his career, I would suggest, after this. I mean, you said it, Jim. He's 30 now. He hasn't fought enough. You can see the talent there. Who knows what he might achieve. He's picked up a WBO type at 8 stone 10 so far, but he looks like he could be a sort of top 10 pound for pound type if he really knuckled down to it.
Yeah, but I really don't feel we've seen the best of him tonight. I think he can perform a lot better than this, but the fact that he's doing pretty as much as he likes with Javier Jauregui, I mean, it shows he does have